Okay, everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat here at Shira David in the Sukkah Baruch Hashem. Tomorrow we're not going to be able to be. We're not going to be in Shira David. We're going to be in Chavram Bezat Hashem. We have a little bit. The shul doesn't want us to have a Nate's minion for tomorrow. All right. I just want the world to know that. Okay. So we're going to continue our lessons today, Baruch Hashem, with Siyata D'Shmai, of course, in Likutey Halachos, Halacha Vav. Today we're up to Lamed Vav, 36. 36 Vav, 6 Vav, Lamed Vav. So we're learning this amazing idea, right, that we can't have two thoughts at the same time, right? And it's very important to always change the thought when a thought comes in. When you sense a thought coming in, even if it comes in a hair's breadth, starts coming in, just switch the thought right away. Don't let it develop, because once it develops, then it can be much more difficult to change. And then we said that we learned that from Lavan, right? Lavan Arami. Yaakov Avinu, what he did was he made that gal, the gal sadus. He made that thing from the stones. And where did those stones come from? He told the Shvatim to collect stones. Those were all of the victories. Those stones, every time that they were able to change the thought. Right, every time we change the thought, and we were misgaber, and we were able to not think about those things that the Sitra Achra wanted us to think about. Right, every time we did, we created a nice little gem. We created a gem, and Yaakov Avinu collected all those gems and made that division. He said, "Love, and you stay on that side, I'll stay on my side. You don't cross over, and I won't cross over. We keep it like that. We can do that in our minds also." Right, that's what we learned yesterday. We can do that in our mind, set up a division where we can, nothing that's not supposed to come in comes in, and if it does, if it gets over the fence, but again, you're always at war. You know, you're always at war. If it gets over it, you know what to do already. You just change it. So now Rav Noson's going to develop it a little bit more. Right? Right, Peleg. Peleg is an interesting word, right? I mean, I think in Hebrew it means like a faction, right?
Yeah,
right?
Division. What's it mean?
A faction.
Plukta.
Yeah. Like a what?
Plukta in Aramaic is
split. Yeah, it's split. Yeah, right. It's division. Right?
Division?
A division, right? Now you see why he says that. They make a simon called Peleg. Why? Because b'yom shechal Purim yeh lag b'omer. So whatever day of the week, this is an interesting idea, right? Whatever day of the week Purim will fall out, you'll know that same day will be will be Lag Baimer.
Wow.
All right, Peleg. Purim, Lag. Purim, Lag. Huh? Nice, huh?
Purim log. Oh, that's what.
It's like,
Wow, what a come up with that.
Wait a second. So, what do you mean it's on the same day?
Same day of the week.
Same day of the week.
That's Wednesday.
Purim falls on a Tuesday, so lag moment.
Well, we'll be on a Tuesday, yeah. Okay, we got that? Okay, so far so good? Okay, Kamesha Kosta b'Shulchan Aruch. He's bringing it down from Shulchan Aruch. Aruch Chaim, right? V'zeh bechinas, look at these words. Mi filag lashetef ta'ala. Right? What does that mean? That means who was the one that was able to make this division from where the hairs come out, from where the hairs grow. Right? Watch what he's going to develop it. Watch this. Ki machshavas heim bechinas ares v'nikroyim shetef. Machshavas are called, they're like hairs, right? Like we said, that there are the sockets, I think we can call them, right? And then the follicle grows out of the socket, right? One follicle grows out of each socket. You don't get two hairs out of one. Isn't that amazing? That's why you understand you can't get, and the thoughts are like hairs. So the same way you can't have two hairs out of one socket, you can't have two thoughts either. I like that. Isn't that beautiful?
The person will become blind.
What?
Just keep reading that.
Right. Kamesha Perish Rashi Sham Shekol Sara Yesh Lo Guma Bifnei Atzma. Each one has its own hole, right? Guma is a little hole, right? It's its own hole. Vil Mole Shtei Sarais Yoitzeis Miguma Achas Machshichin Meor Einav Shalada. Right? It'll darken the person's eye. He won't see. Because the hairs are on the head, right? Connected to the eyes. Really, I think it's much deeper than that. Really, we know it's all because it's all dependent on Shmiras Einayim, right? Everything is really dependent on Shmiras Einayim. Right? We have to always be careful what we're seeing, and not to indulge in things that come across us, right? Those things are just coming from the Sitra Achra. They're advertisements, right? Same way the advertisements pop up, these things just pop up, right? They're from the Sitra Achra.
This is from Rashi?
Huh?
It-
Rashi says this, yeah.
How do we make the connection? How's the connection made here with Machashichin Me'orinav Shel Adam?
Where Rashi is telling us a thing that everything in the head is connected. So somehow the hairs are connected to the eyes, which the thoughts are connected to the eyes.
So he's saying if it were to happen that two hairs were
Yeah.
to emerge from one follicle, that it would affect the person's vision.
Yeah. That's what listen. That's what Rashi says. Yeah, you see that. The same thing that goes with the machshavas in the mind. It's impossible. If nothing's proving it to us, you can't have two thoughts. You think you can have two thoughts, you can't have two thoughts. The example that I always like to give is the same thing with the computer, right? You can have a microprocessor, right? A microprocessor can only process one task at a time. If you want to do multiple tasks at the same time, you'll have to have multiple microprocessors, right? Right, a dual processor, right? A quad processor. They have those things, right?
Yeah.
Because certain companies and they need to do multiple tasks at one time, and the computer, as great as a computer chip is, how powerful these things are, right? They're very powerful. But it can't do two things at once. So how can I do two things at once? Right? Is anyone going to say that they can calculate like a computer chip? I don't think we have people like that today, do we? We do have some people that can work as fast as a computer chip, really?
Something very close.
Really? Okay.
Not all.
Well, I think with today's chips, they got them much fast. I think they surpassed those
You mean
guys.
John Henry?
Yeah.
Something about John Henry? Tried to beat this.
But either way. So we're learning from here. You can't have two thoughts at one time. Ki eina moyach machzik, ki em machshava achas. It's only one. So you tell me, hey, wait a second, but I could think of two things at once. You're not. You're thinking about one thing. It's switching back and forth to the next thing. You're not thinking about one thing at a time. You can only think about one thing at a time. You may be doing it very quick. You're switching back and forth. So it seems to you as if you're thinking about two things at once, but you're really not. You're really not. Okay? Does anyone disagree with that? Does anyone want to say anything on that? Any comments?
Yeah, I guess only God can do it. You can say Zachav V'Shamar B'Dibur Echad.
B'dibur echad, right. Right, he could do it b'dibur echad. Well, because again, we're finite. Kadosh Baruch Hu is infinite, so he could do any. Right, we're confined by being finite. Okay, V'zeh bechinas Purim shenikra al shem Pur. Right, so Purim is called Purim. Why? Because of the lottery. Right, there was a lottery. Shemamshichin oz bechinas tikkun hagoyrel shel hakoyin gadol b'yom kippurim. How do you like that? See that?
Yom Kippurim.
Kippurim. Yom Kippurim. It's a day like Purim. It's a day like Purim. Isn't that beautiful? And we could fix that. We're making a tikkun for the goyrel of the koyin gadol, right? On Yom Kippur. Okay, fine. Kippurim, who hachnos haman amalek. Because what's Purim all about? Subduing and knocking down Haman, Amalek, right? The whole idea, all the ideas of Haman, right? True bechinas pegama bris. The whole idea of Haman and Amalek is all pegama bris. What they try to bring depression. They try to bring a person to depression. Depression brings a person to do all the terrible things. He thinks he'll feel better, right? Yeah. Okay, doesn't work. Bechinas asher korcha baderech, like it says when we were traveling in the desert. So Amalek went. He was lurking towards the back of the camp, right? Because those were the nechashalim, the weak ones were in the back, and he was trying to get those guys. He knows he can't get the strong guys, so he'll get the stragglers. Right? Is that a good way to say it? The stragglers, right? He'll get the stragglers, and then maybe with them he'll develop some momentum, right? You can't get you're not going to get the strong guys. You'll get the straggler. It'll. Shikach is also ayedei pegam machshava sheberoish chas v'shalom. Where does the pegam come from? The machshava in the head. That's where it all comes from. It all starts with the machshava, which all starts with the sight, what you see, right? Because what you see is that what you'll start to imagine and you start to think about, and then that's where it all happens. Bechinas reiyas goyim amalek, reishis goyim amalek. Remember we learned this concept so many times, right? This one in Hilchos Tefillin again. Reish is Goyim Amalek. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu was creating the world, we're coming up to Breishis again, Baruch Hashem, right? And so HaKadosh Baruch Hu made that Cholol Apana. He made that voided space, right? And why is Amalek called Reish is Goyim Amalek? Because when he made that voided space, Amalek checked in. He claimed territory on the voided space. Reish is Goyim Amalek. That's what we learned. Remember we learned that?
Yep.
Right, we learned that, right? And we wear the Rabbeinu Tam Tefillin. Why? Because we go back to was Olah b'machshava. Hashem's thought originally was to make the world with din, right? That was his original idea. He didn't do it that way. Baruch Hashem, right? but when we wear Rabbeinu Tam Tefillin, we're really connecting back to the machshava Hashem, which really transcends the whole Chol Apani, because that happened before the whole Chol Apani. That happened before that voided space. Before Hashem withdrew his light. Really, what was the voided space? Hashem is there anyway, he's still there. He just withdrew most of his light from that place. Right? The absence of Hashem's light made the voided space. So that's why it's called Reishis Goyim Amalek. You ever heard that before, Pesach?
Reishis Goyim Amalek?
Yeah.
I've never heard it before.
Yeah.
Reishis,
Right.
Reishis is the Bechina of Rosh.
Right. No. He's the first. He says, I'm the first. Reishis, I'm the first.
Yeah.
I'm the
We're
first.
talking about the head.
That's right. That's why Esav was born first, right?
Yeah.
I'm
and
first.
Also, when you talk, there's so much connection also with hair because Esav was.
Yeah. So we learned that. Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
2 days ago, there. Yeah.
I missed it.
Baruch Hashem. No, you didn't. You connected. You don't even know. You don't even know. But okay. Okay. For Purim, Purim we can subdue it. Again, because on Purim, we go to the place of Adla Yoda, right? We go to that place, right? We go to that place.
Beyond thoughts.
Beyond thoughts, beyond everything. We just rely on Hashem. We just feel Hashem. It was kibu mashe kibu. Right? We already took on the Torah because again, Adla Yoda, so we could do that, right? We can do that. Okay. Ki nimshach oz bechinas tikun hapur shua goyrel shel yom kippurim shenasan hakohen gadol ashnei seirim goyrel echad laHashem and goyrel echad laZazal. Fascinating, right? There were two seirim, right? Two goats. They had to be the exact same size, same height, same weight, same color, everything. They were identical. They had to be identical twins. And it was only through the lottery did they know which one was going to be which, right? Fascinating, right? One was going to go and it was going to be sacrificed in the Beis Hamikdash, right? In the Mishkan, the Beis Hamikdash, and the other one was going to get thrown off the mountain, right? Only Hashem knows that, right? That's why it was done through a goyrel, because only HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we can't tell this, we can't figure it out. So that's why it was done through the goyrel. Shemaramays al bechinas and al shekol kedusha hu kedushas hamachshava tluya bechut hasa'ara. See again the sa'ara. See that?
There's also an Indian about the seir that was going to Azazel, that on the way people used to pull the hairs from it.
Yeah.
It's take and go. I forget how they would say it, but they'd say like take and go, like take our veras and get out of here, and then pull the hairs.
Yeah. Okay.
Connected with they'd like kind of tug on it a little bit, get it moving.
So we said that the whole thing with the machshava is like that hair's breadth, so thin. Whenever you sense the thought coming in, that's going to take you away from your simcha sachayim. That's going to take you away from, not really, that's going to take you away from the simcha of your life. Really, really, really. You just change it right away. Think of something else. Think of the sukkah, think of Yom Kippur, think of Ne'ilah, think of Kol Nidre, think of Purim, right? Think of the Seder, Leil Seder, right? Right, whatever it is, think of something else, something that'll lift you up.
Yeah.
And then we learned that even if you can't do that, it's not working, so you do mili d'shtusa, right? You do something silly. And why do we say you do something silly? We learned that, it was beautiful. Why? Because the same way when you're in battle, you don't let your enemy know your next move, right? You never let your enemy know your next move, right? You just surprise them, right? So when you do mili d'shtusa, because you're trying to get rid of the thought that's in your mind, right? You have this thought that's really bugging you, right? You don't like this thought. So you do something silly. Now the Sitracha thinks, he's doing something silly. He's not serious now, so that's great. He'll let you go. He lets you go, right? So then you finish your mila d'shtus, and then you can change your thought. It'll be gewaldic, because you outsmarted him. You understand it, right? Isn't that nice?
Have you ever done anything like that?
We have to do these things, yeah.
A personal example? Check.
What do you mean?
David Melech acting like he was crazy.
Yeah, just sometimes you just tell a joke, right? You think of a silly joke. You think
I'm
of
playing
it.
around with my kids usually, like, just kind of jump into their games.
I started doing jumping jacks in one day.
Oh wow.
Yeah, one cute joke is, why did the chicken cross the road? Right? Because he wanted to get to the other side, right?
Yeah.
No, really, Colonel Sanders was after him. Really, the shtusa. Right, Colonel Sanders
I
was
guess
after.
music would also help with that, wouldn't
You
it?
can, yeah.
He says to dance every day.
Dance. That's why we dance after the davening, right? We had such a beautiful tefillah, right? We feel so uplifted from it. That's why we're so happy we dance.
That's not dancing.
Okay, all right. So you'll teach us, okay?
Okay.
Ki seirim meramzim ala sa'aros, because the seirim, it's in the same letters. You see, they're in there, right? The goats are the same thing, like you were saying with the hairs. You pulled out the hairs. The goats are like the hairs, and the hairs are the thoughts, and so on. Bechinas hein Esav achi ish soyer. Here, Esav, my brother, he's a hairy guy, right?
Yeah, he's hairy.
What did Yaakov tell Rivka, right? What did he tell? He told Rivka, he says, I can't go to my father because he's a hairy guy. I'm not hairy. I'm smooth. He's hairy. Right? He's hairy.
Does
right?
that mean, going along with what you said the other day, like Asaph was hairy, and if you have hair, like some people shave their head,
Right.
because there's
A lot of
whatever it
din.
is.
We said the hair on the top of the head is din. So you shave, well, you keep your hair shorter, you keep your beard a little longer, so you have more chesed and more rachman, right?
Or you just go bald and then it's.
All right, well, that'll work too.
But
That's Hashem helps you with that.
but
right?
Yaakov was smooth. He didn't have as much hair.
No, on his hands also. He didn't have as much hair. He didn't have as much hair. Rav Nosson is making a play on the words here just to teach us the lesson. You understand?
No, I understand. Yeah.
Right? This Shei Seirim Sa'arais. Esav is an Ish Soy, right? He came from the play. Okay, very good. Have a good day. More than the
best day
Simcha.
of our lives. It's the only one we have.
That's the day we have today, is right. Abba b'yoyim Kippur mivarim oisana yedei agoyrel shemalin soyer echad l'Hashem v'soyer echad migoshim lazozel. Right, but when it comes to Yom Kippur, the thoughts, we realize all the thoughts are really me'es Hashem. All the thoughts are from Hashem. They're all coming really from Hashem. He's trying to test us. So all these thoughts are from you, Hashem. So you pick for me what I need, Hashem. It's up to you. I let you do it. You do it, Hashem. Uvazeh toli ikar tikun hatshuva shetrichin lahamshich b'yom Kippur. And that's how you get the main tshuva of Yom Kippur. When I realize you are the ruler, Hashem. It's you. You are the king, Hashem. I don't rule anything. You're the melech. Ata melech. You are the king, Hashem. That's really what it's about. Knowing that really everything going on in our lives is transpiring in our lives because that's exactly what Hashem has planned for us at that moment. Unbelievable. Okay, you have to be very careful, like even we said a hair's breadth. Good thoughts, bad thoughts, they're just like hairs. And the same way, you can't have two hairs growing out of one socket, two follicles out of one socket. You can't have two thoughts, good thoughts, bad thoughts. Eitz hadas toiv v'ra, right? The tree of knowledge was good, bad. Good, bad. You know what's good, you know what's bad, right? Shalom said with the guys with the white hats and the black hats, right? It used to be, right? The good guys were wearing the white hats. I love that. Shalom, that was great. Thank you. Right? No, it was great. No, really. The good guys wear the white hats. The bad guys wear the black hats. But today, the good guys are wearing the black. It's all mixed up.
That is kind of funny.
Yeah. The ones that go to, like the two seirim, the two goats, on Yom Kippur, the one that went to Hashem, that's like the good thoughts. The bad thoughts, you don't come back, you get rid of it, right? You destroy it, right? The goat got destroyed, right? He threw him down the mountain. He was finished. So the thoughts can't come back again, and that's how we have to understand it. It's so beautiful the way he's telling you. You can remember the Shtei Sirim, and how was it done? Through a goyrel. Figured out through a lottery, was figure out which one is going to do what, right? They were both identical, right? Think about it. They were identical goats. They were identical. Sometimes the thoughts seem so. They seem so close. They seem so close. So you just rely on Hashem. The same way we had the goyrel.
If this is a what's the significance of the goats and one going off the cliff and one going to the...
Because we just said the good thoughts are the ones that go to Hashem. That's good thoughts. So those things you keep, right? Goes to Hashem, you keep those. And the goat that went over the thing, that's the bad thoughts. And the bad thoughts you just throw out and you don't, yeah.
That's where we get the idea of the scapegoat.
Scapegoat, that's where it came from?
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's where they came up with that thing? They use him as a scapegoat.
It is a scapegoat. You know, these are...
Wow, that's really where it came from? Wow. It's unbelievable, right? They really have, it's all connected to Torah. All the things in the unbelievable. Wow. Okay. And we learned yesterday this beautiful concept that really, there's the what do you call? We have the Zer Anpin, which are the lower seven spheres, right? So we said that the main ones of the lower spheres are really Tilhoid, right? Tilhoid, because Yesod is fundamental. That if you don't have the Yesod, you're not going to have anything else. And Malchus is really just all of them together is what you have. That's how you create your Malchus. So really, what do you call it? Hoid, really from Chesed, Gevurah, Tferes, Netzach, Hoid. Those five are really the most important ones. And that's why Lag BaOmer is within the 5th week, on the 5th day. 5th week, 5th day. Right? We learned that yesterday, remember? All right? V'zeh bechinas peleg. Mi pilag la'shetef ta'ala. Who can make that division that there's not two hairs growing out of one side? Unbelievable, right? Ba'al kein nikroyim hasa'oros she'em machshavos shetef. That's why the sa'oros are called the word shetef. Isn't that interesting? Okay, ki machmas redifas hamachshava nidme ki'ilu heim shoitfim v'ef shelamoid negdam. Right? They're just gushing. They're just coming so quickly. You can't do anything about it. It's what it seems like. But whenever that happens, we said then you have to use the mila d'shtusa, right? Right? The thoughts are coming in like the floodwaters, right? There's a flood going on. So when you have that going on, so then maybe do something silly to just break up the thoughts and just try to do something else. And that, but because it'll wear you down. Otherwise, it'll just wear you down. The thoughts keep coming. They just keep coming. They're trying to knock you down. Rav Nosson is really giving us all different aspects of really how to really manage our thoughts. It's fascinating. Really, it's fascinating.
And there's another one.
Yeah.
So there used to be a saying, people sometimes say, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
However, one of the way to change our thoughts is like with Hashem, it says, when I believe in Hashem, I will see Him. So if I want to change my thought, I could believe in something that may be.
You want to see Hashem, look at anything in the woruld.
Yeah, but I'm talking. I know, but besides that, in addition to that, let's say I want to see myself doing something, and I haven't been able to do it. If I believe that I can do it, I will see it, and I'll be able to do it. It's like controlling your belief about what you're going to see.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes any sense or not, but
Yeah, the old saying, believing is seeing.
See,
Seeing
yeah,
and believing.
believing
It's
is
the
seeing.
reverse.
Yeah, doing it the other way.
Yeah.
they said the world says that seeing is believing, but he says
Believing
believing
is
is seeing. When you believe, you'll see.
It's the blind man.
So you could change your thought by believing in something positive that you want to do.
Yeah, okay. Whatever works. Again, Reb Nuss is giving you do whatever works for you. Everyone has to do it. Just giving you, he's teaching you the principle. You can only think of one thing at a time. So he gave us all different ideas, right? All different ways to try to change the thought. If you have another way to do it that works, he said, then do it. But it's the same concept that you can't think of two things at once.
Right.
So if you're going to use a different method to motivate you, kol hakavod. Right? It's great. Just that's the principle we learn. Okay. Aval be'emes kol machshava yotzim b'zeh achazeh me'amoyach. All of them come from the mind. B'yefshel l'shnei machshava shiyu b'yachad b'shum oifen. Rav Nosson telling us again, you can't have two thoughts at one time. He just wants us to really understand this. Because again, the mind tells you, no, I could think of two things at once, but you can't. You're thinking, you may be switching things back, but you're not thinking of two things at one time. You need some. Stop it right there, right? When you feel it's coming, you feel that thought coming in, change it with something else. Don't let it develop. Don't let it develop. Don't you may find that you're curious what's going to, but you never know where it's going to take you, right? You don't know where it's going to take you. So put another thought in, then you be saved from the bad thought. Don't ever look back. You change the thought together. Now you may think, oh, what was that thought? Maybe it was interesting. let me start. No. Just go forward. We always learn that concept. We always go forward. We don't look back. We go forward. Again, that doesn't mean the person doesn't have to do tshuva. Of course, we have to do tshuva. And again, like we said yesterday, if a person realizes he did something wrong, so you save that for your hizbaidah this time, and you deal with it at that time. You don't deal with it all not any time. You can't, because he'll knock you down. Right? During the time of hizbaidah, you discuss whatever you discuss. But again, remember, if the hizbaidah is only to lift you, bring you closer to Hashem. Right? We have to remember that. Whenever you talk to Hashem, it's supposed to lift you up, not to knock you down. So if you're dealing with something and you see that when you're talking about this thing now, it's really taking you down, it's knocking you down, put it aside. You have to adjourn that, put that aside. I'll deal with it a different time. I can't deal with it now. All right? It doesn't mean you have to deal with it, but I don't have to deal with it right now. I don't need to deal with it right now. All right? Rak yasa atzmai kiloi yoideya. Right? You have to make yourself as if you don't know, because we really don't know. We really rely on Hashem. What do we know what's really going on? V'chinas vayignoi v'Yaakov al beli higid loy. Right? Yaakov, Lavan said to Yaakov Avinu, you stole from me, that you didn't tell me that you were leaving. Right? I wanted to make you a big party. Right? I wanted to make you a big goodbye party. Right? And send you off, with and you just left. Yeah, right. You just left. Well, of course, we learned why. Yaakov Avinu, again, he didn't want to let his enemy know. He didn't want to let his enemy know what his next move was. So he just left. The beautiful things we learned from Yaakov Avinu, right? And then the way Rav Nosson builds these lessons for us, it's just remarkable. All right, Lily, let's go. Let's do Lamed Zayin, and if we can finish Lamed Zayin today, then we finish Halacha Vav.
No.
That's a big accomplishment.
Oh, just another paragraph. Yeah.
And then we have Halacha Zayin, and then we finish Hilchas Tefillin. We go to Birchas HaShachar.
Oh,
Yeah, you'll learn about the morning blessings. Okay, all right. Let's see now. Is there? Okay, now we'll learn a little bit about Shavuos. Okay, Vayadei Zeh. Well, listen, it's Sukkot now, so we talk about the Shalosh Regalim, right? We talk about the Shalosh Regalim, so we'll learn. Okay, Shavuos is part. Okay, good. By days are through what? Through the Lag Ba'omer, right? Through the Lag Ba'omer, through Yetzias Mitzrayim, through the Yom Tov of Pesach, right? Through Pesach, and then we get to Lag Ba'omer, which we said was the Lag before Lag Ba'omer is the Leiv. After Lag Ba'omer is Tov, right? We have the 32 and 17 makes the 49, right? And that gets me to Shavuos, right? I was able to now accept the Torah. Bikurim, that was the day of Bikurim, right? You brought your first, right? It was a beautiful thing that happened, right? Everyone, they brought their new fruit, right? Whatever it was, right? The guy had a little grape, and this guy had a pomegranate, and this guy had it. Whatever he brought, whatever that first fruit was, he brought it to unbelievable. So it was a beautiful, beautiful thing, and everyone was, the storekeepers would close down when the people came with their bikurim, and people, there's more, there's no more? Yeah, a little bit, yeah. A little bit.
It's fine.
It was an amazing thing, really. The simcha that was going on in Yerushalayim when the people when the bikurim would come. It was a beautiful thing. Did you ever study about that, Ellie? Did know really what was going on? How all the storekeepers, people would put on their best clothes and they would go out and sing and dance because the bikurim came. It's unbelievable. No, and then one nice thing is one of the things that the concept is that the rich get richer and the poor get poor. Is that a Jewish concept? The rich get richer and the poor get poor.
No.
It is a Jewish concept, right? I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Oh, now we're talking
The
about
one who is rich is one that when they have. So the spiritual rich, you become more spiritual.
when the guy came with his very wealthy farmer came. Right, and he brought a beautiful silver basket or a gold basket, right? So what did the kohen do? He took the fruit and he gave back the basket. But let's say a poor person came, poor farmer came, and he had a little wicker basket. What happened? The kohen kept the basket. Why? Why did the kohen keep his basket and give back his basket? You ever think of that? I'll tell you why. Because one thing I learned. The rich people, they had nice technology on their farms and their fruits, people working with their fruits, so they were beautiful fruits, right? Grade A, triple A, whatever you call them, right? They were beautiful, beautiful fruit. So he took it out, and it was ooh ah, look at that, ooh ah, wow, look at that pomegranate, wow, ooh ah, it's a grape, right? But the poor guy was standing there and he was thinking to himself, my my fruit doesn't look so nice because I don't have that that whole irrigation system in my thing and all of that. So he was hoping the kohen wouldn't take out his fruit. So the kohen said, "I'll take your basket with the fruit in it. I'll take it with the basket in it." Another reason is you can picture it like this. Picture like this. The rich guy comes. Right, he lives in Chul, right? He has his property in Eretz Yisrael, right? So let's picture modern times, right? A modern time, right? So what would happen now? Right, the guy lives, he has a place in Paris, in London, or wherever the heck he is, right? Wherever it is, right? And they tell him, okay, your fruits are here. You have to go bring it to the Beis Hamikdash. Oh, okay, fine. All right, let me see. He makes a trip, right? He makes a trip. He has his private jet. Right, and he lands in Ben Gurion, right? He lands over there. He has a limousine, picks him up, takes him to the hotel, right? Maybe he goes to the Mamila, right? One of those fancy hotels over there, right? Right? And he gets there. He says, "Okay, listen." He tells the guys, "Here, I don't have really time to get the basket. Here's my credit card. Go to Zofra over there. Go to one of those fancy stores. Get the best basket you can find." Oh, and then they're going to bring the fruit. Maybe you could pack it for me also. Wrap it up nice. Put it, wrap it up. Sure. We'll do that for you, right? Because I have a dinner engagement tonight. I really don't have time, right? And then he comes in the morning, and they say, here he goes. So here's your basket. Oh, okay. We'll go to the Beis Hamikdash. I don't have too much time. I have a lot of things to do, but we'll go to the Beis. So he goes to the Beis Hamikdash with his basket. What effort did he put into it already? The HaKadosh Baruch Hu likes when we put a little bit of effort into it, right? When we put effort in, that's what Hashem wants. He wants us to put our effort in, right? So the kohen gives here, take your basket. Take your basket. Hashem doesn't need your basket. But the poor guy, let's picture the poor guy, right? The poor guy is coming wherever he's coming from. Let's say he was all the way in the Golan somewhere, right? He was coming, and he's coming with his family. And, they had their lulavim, and they were making their baskets on the way, and they made, put little stickers on it, right? It was cute, right? The kids made a little project as they were traveling, right? So that's something special. Hashem says, I want that basket. This basket I would like, right? Something so nice, right? To understand, really, when we put our effort in, that's really what Hashem wants. What we accomplish, how beautiful it is. Hashem just wants us to give us our effort. That's all He's looking for. I said that was one nice thing on the side when it talks about the Bikurim, right? So what happened over there? Korim bevidui. They made a vidui Bikurim. There was a whole prayer that had to be said when they brought the Bikurim. It was a whole thing that went on. Okay, right? Harami oivedovi. Right? We go back. We tell the history. We tell over the history. But again, Arami oived ovi. Right? We're talking about Lavan. Why are we talking about Lavan? Look how beautiful our Nasan fits us in the lesson, right? Because we said that Lavan Harami, Lavan is white, right? Lavan, what does Lavan mean? White, right? Lavan's white. Arami, what does that mean? He's a trickster. He's a trickster, right? So that's the Sitracha. That's how he works. He works that he's white, he's nice, he's clean, it's all good, it's good, but he's a trickster. But we have to talk about that. Shehu lovan arami shebikesh la'akar as hakol. What does it mean he wants to be la'akar as hakol? Because if he gets our thoughts, he could pull out everything from us. Right? Lovan is trying to attack our thoughts. If we think the right ways, and we're always thinking towards Hashem, we're thinking about Ahavas Hashem, Ahavas HaTorah, Ahavas Yisrael, right? Ahavas Eretz Yisrael. We're thinking this way all the time, right? So then the Yetzer, he can't get into us. But if he do it the other way around, just take a look at the other side. The over here we have going on, right? When the thoughts, they don't watch what they're thinking. Look where it'll go. It's sad. It's sad, and that's what I believe. That's what he means here. La'akar es hakol, to really uproot everything. Nothing sacred anymore. Everything he takes everything out. Everything. Right, even on Yom Kippur, right? Even the day Yom Kippur, we were saying the other day, right? Even the day Yom Kippur, to them it's nothing. Nothing. We have our political, I think that's more important than Yom Kippur.
Yom Kippur, yeah.
It's more important than Yom Kippur, right? That's La'akar es hakol. Everything. Lock, stock, and barrel, right? Everything. Right? Ayadei machshavois of arois through their bad thoughts, or the bad thoughts that come in, right? Well, they think that the whole country's falling apart, right? Everything is falling apart, right? It's so stupid. It's sad. It's sad. We have to daven for them. We mamash have to daven for them. That's why we take the arovas. That's what we learned that yesterday, right? We take the arovas, right? The arovas has no tam, no reach, right? Right. So we take the arov and we're asking the Rabbanim to bring back the Pashei Yisrael. They should be part of the fold also. Right? We're asking them to bring them back too. Those that are Jewish. Whoever, I don't know if they're all Jewish. I don't know. Whichever ones of them are Jewish, Hashem bring them back. The ones that are not Jewish, okay, let them do what they have to do. Okay, that's on them. But we daven to Hashem to please bring back all the Jewish ones, right? Because that's upon us. We say that ha'olam nivra b'shvili, right? That's what it says in Pirkei Avos, right? Ha'olam nivra b'shvili is made for me. So if the world was made for me, it means I have to daven for the world, right? And all these people that fell aside, I could daven for them. Maybe I can't do anything, physically, to help them, because if I try to talk to them, maybe they won't listen to me, but I can daven that Hashem can change their thoughts, right? That Hashem can pique their interest in something to bring them back, right? The Begama Bris is the Yisoid. Today's Yosef Atzadik. How you like that, huh? Yosef Atzadik is Yisoid, right? See that? It all fits in, right? We're learning about Shavuos, but we feed in the speeds into the day. Unbelievable. Yisoid v'ikir kol ha'Torah. Hu al yedei pegama machshavas. That all comes. Where does it come from? Where does the pegama bris come from? Because of the machshava, right? You start thinking. He thinks this is good and this is good. I want this and this will make me happy. This will make me happy. So I'll go do that. It'll make me happy, right? That's what he tells you, right? It's a mitzvah to be happy. This will make me happy. So that means I should go do it, right? Right? All right. Through this, through the Lag Baimer, right on the sphere of Sai Meshuas, Maidin Meshapchen Hashem Yisbarach Sheichnisu Begolas Mitzrayim, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu put us into the Golas Mitzrayim, He to put us into the exile in Egypt, right? It was Hashem, V'itzionu Misham, He took us out. Hashem took us out. Ayidei koyach hatzadik b'chinas Moshe Rabbeinu through Moshe Rabbeinu. Again, we're learning the whole lesson in Vav is again Riyas Penei Tzadik. When you see the Tzadik, it makes that it's noitzat zamayach, right? It causes that something in the mind to get realigned, to rethink things through. What's important when you see before you see the tzaddik, you don't know. You think everything is good. When you see the sincerity of the tzaddik, you see the purity of the tzaddik. So that already starts to make me think back. Oh, I can also be like that. What's important in life, and so on. Right? Gets the person to think. Shenoisin eitzos amachzik leiv Yisrael b'chol pam livroyach ve'imolet mimenu. Right? He gives us the tzaddik always gives us the ideas, right? The advice to strengthen us, to strengthen the hearts of Klal Yisrael every time that we could run away from these things, right? Af im kvar over mashover. Even if I did whatever I did, whatever happened, whatever happened in the past happened. Okay, it happened, but that was in the past. What about now? What about now? That's the point. That's what the tzaddik teaches us, right? The tzaddik teaches us, okay, so I did whatever it was in the past. I'll fix it. Doesn't mean that the tzaddik's not telling you don't have to make amends for everything that you did wrong. But how are you going to go forward? How do you go forward and be successful going forward? You start again right now. You start again right now. You can't be always delving into the past, right? Because if you delve into the past, it's going to keep knocking you down. It's not going to work. Then the future won't be good either. Right? The past becomes the future. The past becomes the present. The past becomes the future. It's no good. Okay, so Nimsa Shishvuas Sehu Yom Bikurim. Shvuas is the day of Yom Bikurim. That's the time that we brought the Bikurim. We brought the Bikurim and we were made to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, all the beautiful things that Hashem did for us. And He took us out. And He built, and He made these fruits for us. Right, we learned about the idea involved that we learned also about having that bush when we eat, right? Remember we learned that? Right, you have the embarrassment when you eat, when you think about it, make the bracha the right way, right? So we talked about that. Now you're bringing the bikurim, right? You're bringing the first fruit that you have. You take that first fruit, which is the most precious fruit, the most precious thing. You worked all winter long. You were working now, and you were nurturing it, right? You were doing everything you had to do, and now you finally see the fruit. What do you take it and you bring it to Hashem? You mind it. It's Hashem. It's not me, right? It's not because it's not because I did. I'm so clever and crafty. Hashem, you did this. It's your work. It's not my work. I was just assisting. Now it's all, but it's yours. Shizman matan Tereseinu Ike Kutushasa Yayedei Hachnois Klipas Lavan Harami. The way to get knocked down is Lavan. And now we understand why we talk about Lavan Harami in the Seder when we're doing the vidui of the Bikurim. Why we talk about Lavan Harami? Because Lavan Harami was trying to change my thoughts, to make my thoughts to think bad things, to not think the right things. I have to remember all my thoughts about with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I can't think two things at one time. And if the Lavan tries to get in, I could dispel Lavan. I could dispel him. I could discharge Lavan by just changing the thought. This awakens when a Lag Ba'omer bechinas Eid Hagal. Right, we said that the Eid Hagal, this was the sign. He made that sign with the pile of rocks. Right, he called it the Gal Sadusa. Right, he called that pile of rocks. Right, what were those rocks? Those were all the avonim that were created by all of the victories of Klal Yisrael every time the Shvatim, when they were able to change the thought, to go further, go weiter, and leave Lavan out. So that's why he used those there to make that divide. Lavan, you stay there and I'll stay here. You don't cross over, I don't cross over. You keep your ideas to yourself on that side of the fence. Keep it all on, you do what you want on your side of the fence.
Really, with his own victories, because the Shvatim were born yet, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were born.
They were born, but they were still little kids.
I understand, yeah. Okay, yeah. but that's what he was saying.
Yaakov, it's really something.
But even when they were kids, they were great. These were great kids.
yeah,
These were not just stam kids.
Right.
Shenase ben Yaakov leLavan, and he made that separation between Yaakov and Lavan. Yaakov is the soil Hashem, Lavan is the soil Azazel, right? We should mamish be zeicha to see. We should mamish be zeicha to see this, right? To have the shtei seirim, right? Echad Hashem, Echad Azazel. And then to realize that the hairs and each socket can only have one hair. We learned today that even if it with two came out of one hair, it would make the guy blind. Unbelievable, right? Right? Right. We don't realize all these things, right? We learned that my eyesight is dependent on the hair. Whoever knew? Who knew that?
Okay, so which blind?
Huh?
Blind, stam blind, or blind to today, and still can see the spiritual?
No, that's the blind
blind
beggar.
beggar, yeah.
No. We're talking about blind.
Blind.
Okay.
Blind. Yeah. Yeah. Anyone have any comments on this? We're finishing Vav now.
There's one sentence here. I don't know. Did you touch on it? It says, "We therefore thank and praise Hashem for bringing us into the exile." In
Yeah, we
Egypt,
did. Yeah. We
and
thank him
taking us out.
because he took us out. Yeah. We had to go in there because we went to the Kura Baza. We learned about that. We had to go in the Kura Baza
Right.
to be rebuilt.
Right.
The same way you have a Kli Cheres, right? You have a Kli Cheres that became tummy, right? What do you have to do? You have to break it.
Yeah.
Right? If you break the Kli Cheres, the earthenware vessel, then you can rebuild the earthenware vessel. It can be pure, right? And if you have the earthenware vessel and it's closed, it's totally closed, you can pass it through any tumah you want. Nothing's going to happen. But if there's a little hole in it, and tumah gets in, now I have to break it. That's the same idea with the thoughts. Little hole, right? One little thought, a hair's breadth. Same idea. It's all, you can take all the different examples and you can really plug it into all of the lessons that we learn here. Honestly, anything, you can really plug it into all these lessons. Everyone have a wonderful day. Mo'adim l'simcha, good mayid, kol tov everybody.